guys, okay, so I went to Twitter and I kind of asked what you guys wanted to see me film because I love videos where I can just sit down and talk to everyone, and my username is ErinTheInsomniac. You guys said you wanted to see a moving out video and just kind of how to save, how to budget, where to look, and I'm just going to break it down into 5 points and kind of help you and just kind of tell you what I did to move out. Now this is my second time moving out, but this is my first time being alone. The first time I had a roommate, so it was a little easier, but when you're by yourself it is a little harder. You're paying all the bills when you're by yourself, and you're cleaning and all that. So I am just going to kind of go through. I have some points in my phone I am going to share with you, and hopefully this helps you guys, and let's get into it. So the first thing you want to do is research. Now you want to kind of feel where you want to be in your town, if it's, you know, in the north, the south, the east, anything like that, or how important safety is, like the area around you, if you're downtown or you're not near a good area, or if you want to be like out towards, you know, a suburban area. It just depends on where you feel comfortable. A great place to go is apartmentratings.com. I will link it in the bottom bar, and no, this is not a sponsored video through them, but it shows you reviews on apartments, you know, around the areas that you want to be in, and it also shows you kind of like how past people have been there, and like the noise level or how they felt safe and stuff like that. You can also go to different companies or different apartments websites, and you can look up if they have laundry services, if they have any kind of security monitoring, if they have garages, just stuff like that. That's like little things that will help you decide where you want to be. And then the next thing, when you're doing your research, you kind of want to decide, do you want a roommate or do you just want to be by yourself? I decided to live alone because I wanted my own space and I wanted to kind of create it my own, and since my roommate had moved to California and I went back with my parents, I just decided, you know what, I'm just going to live by myself. And even though it is expensive nowadays to live by yourself, I'm fortunate to have a job to pay the bills, and I kind of have saved throughout my, I guess, working life, and I had enough in the bank to just make it work. After you've done all your research, you just kind of want to gather maybe, I don't know, 3 to 5 places in your town to visit and tour, and talk to the leasing agent or the landlord and just ask a bunch of questions, take notes, take applications. But you do need to know that if you do fill out an application, it's either like $20 to $40 depending on where you live, and they will charge you for that. So just don't like apply everywhere. Just be careful where you apply, and you will know if the fit is right for you, and just ask around town, talk to your friends. But it depends on the areas you go in and the prices and all that. Number 2 is saving. Savings can come in handy when you move out by yourself, or if you just move out in general. My biggest tip for anybody, and I've done this since I was 16, now I am 25, save a little every single paycheck you get, which can be difficult because I know some people, you know, are not fortunate enough to make over minimum wage or something like that. But if you can even save like 20 bucks towards each paycheck, or even 100, that would be awesome. This way, if you need it in the long run, or if you need it when you move out, you kind of have a cushion so you don't have to live paycheck to paycheck. Another thing, if you can do it while you go to college, is to live with your parents. I did this and I saved thousands of dollars just by living with my parents throughout all of those years, and then I eventually moved out after I graduated college. I was doing that because I knew that I was saving a lot of money, and you don't get as much privacy, but I mean, if you get along with your parents, it's worth it to just stay there for 4 to 5 years and then move out. Another thing I can suggest is to cut back on non-essentials or traveling. If you are a person who spends a lot of money just on random things, you can kind of start thinking, okay, do I need this, or should I get this later? But by all means, if you need something, buy it. But it just helps if you just think about what you want to purchase, and then you like reevaluate if you need it, and then that way you are saving more money. Another thing is, I like to travel. I like to go to concerts, and I've cut back on, you know, flying places or going places because I wanted to move out by myself, or if I want, you know, a new phone, a new camera, anything like that. It helps to just save and not go, but don't do it like so much to where you're going insane and you're not having fun, or you can't, you know, go experience the world or anything. But I just suggest to, you know, just cut back. Like if your friends want to go on 5 trips over the summer, maybe just go to 1 or 2, stuff like that. So after you kind of found your place and you've been saving a little bit, my third thing I recommend is to set a budget. What I originally did was added up my rent, my renter's insurance, my car, my utilities, my cell phone, all that good stuff that comes with adulting, and I put it in my phone. But you can also put it on something like this, which I am going to start doing. Right here, this is a to-do list, so you can use it through the week. This is don't forget, which is good if you have to pay a bill. This is a shopping list if you need something at the grocery store. And then in notes, I'm going to put, you know, like my bills, like rent, and then check it off once I have paid it, so I know that it's paid. And then this is just important info, like if you have doctor appointment or something like that. But something like this is really great to have. I got this one, I believe, at TJ Maxx or Marshall's. I will try to find a similar one online, but I'm not sure if I can because I don't even know if the brand has it on their website. But something like this is really good for organization when you're paying bills and you know, when you have a lot of more responsibility when you move out. So I really suggest this. In your budget, it's always good to kind of put room for entertainment and food. Food obviously should go in your normal budget, but I'm saying, like, you know, go out with friends, like, and go eat, or you go to the movies, or, you know, you go to a museum. You want to have money so you can have fun while you're living alone. And if you don't think that you can move out as soon as you want, you can just push it back and don't sign any contract or any lease until you are ready. Be comfortable and aware of your budget and what you're spending or what you're going to spend. Again, if you're not comfortable, just don't move until you're ready. 4 is moving in, and be sure before moving you ask your landlord or leasing agent questions that, you know, just random things that you don't know about, like do I have to pay for water, do I have to pay for trash, am I taking care of utilities, which you usually do, but just questions like that so you're not surprised later on in the long run. Also, tour the place before you sign it. You don't want to sign on an apartment and then you're get in there and, you know, like the oven's cut in half or the shower doesn't work, which I hope would never happen to anybody, but you never know, you know, just don't sign anything until you see it, because once you sign, you're like tied down to that lease. Another thing is to get copies that you sign and agree on, and my leasing agent, her copy machine is down, so I'm just kind of throughout the week asking her, like, hey, I need those copies, you know. I'm not trying to be annoying, but I want the copies for my reference, so I know like what I signed and what I agreed to, and if they say something and then I look in the contract or whatever, I can say, okay, yeah, it's in there, and stuff like that. You just want to have it on hand, and you don't want them to forget to give you your copies. The last thing you want to do before you move all your stuff in is to do a walkthrough and to see if anything is kind of out of place or messed up or cracked, or any little cracks in the tile, anything. Write it down. They usually have an evaluation check sheet. Like when I moved in, I have 2 little cracks on my microwave. There's like a small little crack in the tub. It's like very, very tiny, maybe a 1/2 inch. And there's like 1 little nail polish stain on the carpet, just stuff like that. If it looks like it's not ready for you to move in, you need to tell them, like, hey, you kind of need to take care of this, or I don't really want to move in here. But they usually do a walkthrough or let you do it. Just write down everything, because your deposit that you originally put down, you might not get back in the end if you didn't mark that down. Number 5 is furnishing and settling in. This is a great time in the beginning to get rid of things that you actually don't want or don't need. It's a time to kind of think about, do I need this in my apartment? Or am I going to use this in the long run? What I did was have a donation box and a sell box, and then the things I would actually take to my apartment. But my donation box, I probably donated maybe 3 to 4 boxes of things that I actually didn't need laying around my apartment. Months before you can, or even a year before you move in, or it's estimated, I suggest to go to stores and just look at the decor you want. Kind of get a like color scheme going, or get themes in your rooms that you want going on. You don't have to make it perfect. You can do it on a budget. I will tell you the stores that I went to, and my apartment is basically made up of those stores. My first tip in any store is to check the clearance first, which is what I always do. If you've been watching my channel, that's the very first thing I do when I go into a store, is I go into the clearance section because they still have good stuff. It's just marked down and they need to get rid of it. Great stores to go to, I have them in my phone, so I'm going to look down here, are Target, IKEA, Home Goods, TJ Maxx, Michaels, Hobby Lobby, and Amazon.com, but if you have a Prime membership, I would suggest that. Prime is awesome. It is $100 a year. You get free shipping and it's 2 days, and then you also get Amazon Video. I will link Prime down in the bottom bar as well, but those are just the stores that I kind of made my apartment up with, and they're really, really affordable, and you can just put things together really easily. And if you have a hard time with decorating or with, you know, putting rooms together, Pinterest is great. Just go, you know, Google kind of the theme that you want, and you can go make it for cheaper in the store than, you know, on Pinterest in like the $11,000 rooms they have on there. Another thing is to get hand-me-downs from parents or relatives. Like, I have my grandmother's dishes, and I have some of my mom's towels, like stuff like that, or if you need rags, like my parents bought me a vacuum when I moved in. That was really nice of them. You can go to thrift stores, you can go to vintage markets, just look around there. Antique stores, they get a little more pricey, but thrift stores like Goodwill, and I don't know what everybody has in their area, but they are really, really good for, you know, like replenishing things or just adding like a final touch to decoration. You can even find furniture there, but just be careful what you buy where. A tip if you want to splurge a little bit, and I went to these places as well, are your local furniture stores, World Market or Pier 1. Just make sure that everything has a place in your apartment and you know where you're going to kind of put things. That way once you're in your apartment, you'll just be more calm and collected, and you'll be able to enjoy the space more. My last and final tip I also have in my phone. It is to divide your monthly take-home income by 3, and that is the maximum number on rent that you should spend. And I spend on rent about that, and I think it's a really good kind of to go by, because then that way you're not overly spending in rent, and then, you know, you have bills waiting for you to pay at the end of the month. Those are just my tips. I hope that they help you guys that are going to move out or want to move out or even have moved out. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all later. Bye!